Also tonight, thus far, Israel's air campaign, it has been a massive success. According to multiple reports, the mullahs of Iran are now begging for new negotiations. One report, not confirmed, has the supreme leader negotiating asylum, possibly with Putin and Russia. Almost all of their top military commanders, they are now dead. Their top nuclear scientists, they're also dead. Their ability to fire ballistic missiles, as you just heard from Trey Yangst, that is diminishing by the hour. Their weaponry slowly being depleted and degraded. Their nuclear aspirations, they are quickly coming to an end, which is good for mankind. As President Trump has emphasized over and over and over again, and he tried hard. He fought hard for peace. Iran cannot, in the end, have a nuclear weapon, period, end of sentence. Take a look.
You want to see regime change in Iran?
I want to see no nuclear weapon in Iran, and we're well on our way to making sure that happens.
Now, that would be the Trump doctrine. I fully, completely support this doctrine. As the president wrote on Truth Social, America first means many great things, including the fact that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Make America great again. The president also made one other point very clear. If we are attacked in any way, shape, or form by Iran, the full strength and might of the U.S. Armed Forces will come down on you at levels never seen before. In the meantime, it appears that Israel's air campaign, now with full air superiority, they own the Iranian skies, achieved in just 4 days, will only be ramping up at this point. They own the skies. They have all the leverage. But let's be clear. This conflict, any conflict, is not without risk. It is not without hardship. It is not without suffering. Also, part of the Trump doctrine is no more forever wars. I fully agree with that also. With Israel owning the air over the entire country of Iran, the country now is suspect. They're going to lose their nuclear program. That is pretty abundantly clear tonight. But they could also lose their electric grid, which is gas-driven. That could be taken out just as quickly. All their refineries, which is their entire economy, can also be taken out. And without a protracted war or boots on the ground, doesn't make it risk-free. Everything has risk. However, the president is correct. The greater risk would be to do nothing in the face of a clear and present danger. The world cannot experience another Holocaust. Iran has proven over and over again, convert or die, death to Israel, death to America. And as the president repeats over and over again, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Just noticed how Israel hits military targets. And look at what the Iranians are doing. They are terrorizing heavy populated civilian areas like Tel Aviv. Imagine the region with a nuclear-armed Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, pledging to wipe Israel and the U.S. off the map, fighting proxy war after proxy war after proxy war. I brought this up last week. Ask yourself how many rockets, if they were fired into our country by the #1 sponsor of terror, and they were threatening to wipe us off the map, how many rockets would it take before every American demanded a military response from their government? Israel now for decades has been the target of tens, not hundreds of thousands of rocket attacks. Now the ballistic missiles, they're getting more powerful than ever. 2,000 pounds, and the Iranians, according to reports, they want 4,000-pound ballistic missiles. That can cause a lot of damage in a city like Tel Aviv. I've been there. What would you want a U.S. president to do? And that is exactly what Israel is facing. Iran wanted to wipe the world's only Jewish state off the map, and with each passing day, the Islamic Republic was getting closer and closer to achieving that goal. During both the Obama and Biden years, Iran was able to do pretty much whatever they wanted. I blame both of them for enriching the uraniums. I blame both of them, especially Biden, turning a blind eye to the sanctions that were bankrupting them that Donald Trump had put in place. They stockpiled thousands of ballistic missiles. They were able to use that money to foment terror all over the region and build out their nuclear program and enrich uranium at a far more rapid pace. They're armed. They have armed their proxies to the teeth, all while declaring, what they want, what their stated goal is. And while Israel has neutralized Iran's top proxies, the nuclear program, the country's missile production capabilities, they were picking up speed. In about a month, a nuclear holocaust would have been a real possibility. That is not a risk that any country should ever have to face. Unfortunately, the so-called party of compassion doesn't seem to care. In fact, the base of the Democratic Party, others with extreme views, they seem perfectly okay with the virulent anti-Semitism in the halls of Congress, on college campuses, and worldwide. And, you know, from the river to the sea, how often have we heard that? Or at best, they wouldn't mind if it did happen. In fact, tonight, left-wing protesters in New York City openly supporting Iran. Take a look.
Do you condone or condemn the missiles on Israel?
Condone! Condone! Israel!
Israel about
Terrorist apartheid regime! The Israel! The U.S. empire!
it's a colonial project.
It's a racist piece of state! Fake country! Made of fake people! White supremacy!
The party of AOC, the party of the Squad, the party of Jasmine Crockett, the party of Grandpa Bernie have gone outright insane. They're literally out in the street dressed like Islamic extremists, calling for the destruction of Israel from the river to the sea. Their anti-Semitic protests have raged now for nearly 2 years. This is the same party that turned a suspected human trafficker, gang member, illegal immigrant, Abrego Garcia into their hero. The same party that blocks highways and attacks law enforcement and federal buildings because ICE is doing what the law requires and deporting criminal illegal immigrants that Joe, Kamala, and Mayorkas allowed into this country. That means known terrorists. We have Iranian hit squads in the country. We have murderers. We have rapists. We have cartel members, gang members, drug dealers, and people that commit other heinous crimes. The same party that burned Teslas and attacked their owners, all because Elon Musk supported Donald Trump and was saving money and rescuing astronauts. The same party obsessed with gender identity politics, allowing and championing the right of men to play women's sports. The same party that supports racist DEI policies over merit and hard work. The same party that believed the Russia hoax. They went along with FISA warrants. The same people that went along with false valuations at Mar-a-Lago. The same party that calls the summer of 2020 the summer of love, 574 riots. The same party that tried to remove Donald Trump from the ballot through lawfare and picked their own presidential candidate without a single primary vote. Now it's the very party that lacks any and all self-awareness with a ridiculous nationwide no quote Kings protest. Here's a concept that Democrats might want to remember. We actually had a nationwide election. Trump won, you lost, you called him every name in the book, used all the lawfare possible, you weaponized the DOJ, you still lost. He won every single swing state, and he won the popular vote. The only people acting like tyrants in America right now are those committing these acts of violence. And, of course, the silence from leaders in the Democratic Party is deafening. All the vandalism, all the intimidation, all because they lost an election. Well, we're going to, the Democrats' No Kings protest. We'll get to more of that later in the show. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.